Hey there, Joe Gaspard here from Joe Gaspard Performance Coaching, and today let's talk about how to keep going when you really want to quit. So I'm at the gym today and got 7 exercises on my list of exercises for my workout, and I get to exercise number 5, and I start doing this thing that you've probably done too, especially if you clicked on this video. Where I start negotiating with myself. I start trying to convince myself that I don't need to do these last 2 exercises because I'm so tired. Didn't get enough sleep last night. Been up since 5:30. Worked 14 hours yesterday. Had had some leftover feelings from eating bad. Went and had burgers and drank soda and fries and hung out with this friend I hadn't seen in a few years. So all these things sort of added up, and I was tired, I wasn't feeling great, and I was convincing myself in my workout that I really didn't need to do these last two exercises. But I just I did that thing where you just dig down deep, you find it, you do it anyway even when you don't want to. And that really is the key right there. You see, it's when you do those last 2 exercises, it's when you make those last 3 or 4 or 5 cold calls, it's when you stay present and focused on your spouse or your significant other or whoever for 5 seconds longer, for 10 seconds longer. Those are the things that are literally going to train the cells of your body. They're going to train your nerves. They're going to train your neurology and your psychology to keep going even when you don't feel like it. And it's doing it in practice that you get better and better at it in the real world. And it really does take practice. It's not like some magical pill you can take where if you do it one time forever, you're never gonna want to quit again. It really is a practice. So you practice it when you're like, I don't want to do this last set. You just do it anyway, and maybe it's not the best one ever, and you just fine, and you move on with life. Or you don't want to make those last few phone calls, those cold calls, whatever, but you do it anyway, and maybe you bomb terribly at it, but you just keep going and you do it anyway. And maybe you don't want to stay in the moment in that conversation with your spouse or your significant other because something on the TV has caught your eye and you really want to watch it, you really want to see it, but you stay there for a couple more seconds and you start training your neurology, you start training your psychology, you start training the biochemistry of your body to keep going when you're tired, when you want to quit. And it's practice. It's a practiced thing that you just have to do daily and constantly and consistently get better at until it's sort of second nature, even though it's not. I mean, if you'd have been next to me at the gym today, you would have thought I was a freaking madman because I was talking to myself. I'm like, come on, man, you can do this. You got to keep going. And sometimes you just got to go, crazy a little bit. You got to, people will think you're a little touched in the head, but you talk yourself into it. You talk yourself through it. You hype yourself up if you've got to. You do whatever you've got to do for yourself to make it happen, because that's the most important part. The most important part is that moment when you keep going. The most important part of your workout is when you push through those last few exercises. The most important part of your job is when you push through and get that report done early. When you push through with your spouse, your significant other, and you stay there sort of focused and locked in. That's the part that makes all of the difference. Everything else is just a warm-up to get to that one rep, that one call, that 1 second. Everything else is just a warm-up. So look, that's it for today. That's all the time I've got. If there's any way I can help you at all, if you've got any questions, feel free to send me a message. I'll be happy to help you in any way that I can. And until next time, I'll talk to you soon.